You wake up tired. Not physically, no, this runs deeper. It's the exhaustion of being too available, too reachable, too easy to access. Your phone lights up and you answer. Someone calls and you pick up. Someone needs help and you say yes again. You tell yourself, this is strength, loyalty, character. It's not. It's liquidation. Every time you make yourself available without resistance, you discount your own existence. Every instant reply, every no problem, every moment you give away without friction, you are placing a lower price tag on your own value. And the world responds exactly how markets always do. It consumes what is cheap. You think people respect you because you're always there. They don't. They rely on you. They use you. And when something is always available, always accessible, always free, it becomes invisible, like oxygen. Necessary, yes, but unnoticed, unappreciated, until it's gone. This is the brutal law that governs human relationships. Not fairness, not kindness, not effort, supply and demand. When the supply of you is endless, the demand collapses. Centuries ago, Niccolo Machiavelli understood this with terrifying clarity. He warned that a ruler who is too generous, too open, too familiar, is not loved. He is despised. Because generosity without control signals weakness, and weakness invites exploitation. But you weren't taught this. You were taught to be agreeable, to be helpful, to give more so you could receive more. A comforting lie, a lie designed to keep you obedient, predictable, easy to manage. Because the truth is darker. People do not value what is given freely. They value what they must earn. They respect what they fear losing. And right now, you are too easy to keep. So here is the shift. The uncomfortable one. The one most people will never make. You must stop being free. You must become rare, controlled, difficult. You must become expensive. But understand this before we go any further. Once you see this, once you truly understand the mechanics of your own devaluation, there is no going back. You will start to notice it everywhere. In conversations, in relationships, in the subtle way people treat those who are always there versus those who are not. And it will change how you see yourself. This is not self-help. This is not motivation. This is surgery. We are about to dissect the psychology of value, strip away the illusion of kindness, and rebuild you using the same principles that govern power, status, and desire. And be warned. The final truth, the one most people avoid at all costs, is not about strategy. It's about the price you will have to pay to never be cheap again. Let's begin the surgery. Let's begin the surgery. Number 1, the paradox of value. You have been taught that being useful makes you valuable. That if you show up, help out, and give more than you take, people will recognize your worth. Look at your life. Has that been true? Or have you become the person everyone calls, but no one chooses? This is the illusion, the first lie you must kill. Centuries ago, Adam Smith exposed a paradox that quietly governs your entire social existence. He asked a simple question: why is water something essential for life almost free, while diamonds, something useless, are worth fortunes? The answer is not logic. It is not morality. It is scarcity. Water is everywhere. It falls from the sky. It flows without resistance. And because it is abundant, it is disrespected, wasted, ignored. Diamonds are rare, hidden, difficult to obtain. And because they are scarce, they are desired, protected, worshipped. Now look at yourself again. Are you water or are you a diamond? The nice guy, the reliable one, the always there friend. He is water. He listens, he helps, he sacrifices, he believes he is building value. In reality, he is flooding the market with his own presence. He replies instantly. He says yes automatically. He tolerates behavior he should reject. And over time, something subtle begins to happen. People stop seeing him as valuable, not because he lacks worth, but because he has removed the cost of accessing it. He becomes expected, and what is expected is never respected. They cancel on him last minute. They delay replying. They take more than they give, not out of cruelty, but because the system has calibrated his price to zero. This is the part that will hurt. You trained them to do this. Every time you made yourself available without condition, you told the world, I am abundant, I am replaceable, I cost nothing. And the world believed you. To change this, you cannot simply act confident. You cannot fake value with words. You must change the underlying economics of your presence. You must become scarce. This means something most people are too weak to do. You must become unavailable, not emotionally broken, not bitter, controlled. You stop replying immediately. You stop saying yes by default. You stop overextending your energy to people who have not earned it. And at first, it will feel wrong. Because your mind has been conditioned to equate availability with worth, you will feel like you are losing connection, losing approval, losing relevance. Good. That feeling is withdrawal. You are detoxing from the addiction to being needed. Because being needed is not the same as being valued. Anyone can use water. Very few can afford a diamond. So you audit your life. Who gets instant access to you? Who drains you without giving anything back? Where are you over-delivering to people who would not do the same for you? Every one of those is a leak in your value system. Close them. Create friction. Create delay. Create space. Let them wait. Because when the water stops flowing, people don't shrug. They panic. They notice. They adjust. And for the first time, they begin to understand what you are worth. Be the drought. Number 2, the velvet rope. You think being open makes you likable. That if you let people in easily into your time, your attention, your life, they will appreciate you. They won't. They will categorize you. Accessible, replaceable, low resistance. Walk past a luxury store. The door is closed. There's a line outside. A guard stands at the entrance. Not everyone gets in, not immediately. Now walk past a supermarket. The doors slide open automatically. Bright lights, no barriers. Everyone is welcome. Ask yourself something uncomfortable. Which one do you respect more? Which one do you prepare yourself for before entering? Value is not just about what is inside. It is about how difficult it is to access it. This is what your life is missing. Friction. Right now, you have none. You have built automatic doors into your existence. Anyone can text you. Anyone can call you. Anyone can take your time without earning it. And you let them. Because you think saying no will make you lose people. Good. It will. That's the point. You are not trying to keep everyone. You are trying to filter. The problem is your default setting. Right now, your default is yes, unless something forces you to say no. That is weakness. Your default must become no, unless something earns a yes. When someone asks for your time, you do not rush to respond. You pause. You let silence sit. You create uncertainty, not to play games, but to signal something deeper. Your time is already valuable. Already allocated, already in demand. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are evaluating. This is where most people fail. They confuse politeness with submission. They think immediate compliance is kindness. It's not. It's self-erasure. Even Niccolò Machiavelli warned that a man in power must be slow to act, slow to trust, and measured in response. Speed is for the desperate. Delay is for the powerful. So you introduce a system. People do not get access to you instantly. They earn it. You watch them, you test them, you observe how they treat others. Because how they treat others is how they will treat you. If someone gossips to you, they will gossip about you. If someone disrespects boundaries, they will destroy yours. So you keep the rope up. And here is the paradox that will break your old mindset. You will lose people, the ones who want easy access, the ones who want convenience, the ones who want to take without giving. Let them go. Because the people who matter, the ones who understand value, will lean in. They will respect the barrier. They will see the resistance and think, there must be something worth protecting behind that door. This is how attraction works, not just in relationships, but in status, power, and influence. People chase what resists them. They ignore what surrenders immediately. So you stop surrendering. You become selective. You become measured. You become difficult in a controlled, intentional way. Not rude, not cold, not arrogant. Exclusive. Because not everyone deserves access to you. And once you understand that, everything changes. Number 3, the tax of silence. You talk too much, not because you're expressive, not because you're open, but because you are trying subtly, desperately to be understood, to be validated, to be seen. And every word you give away without control devalues you. Information is currency, and like any currency, when there is too much of it in circulation, it collapses. You have been inflating yourself. You tell people your plans before they happen. You explain your decisions. You justify your actions. You reveal your fears, your strategies, your next move, thinking this builds connection. It doesn't. It erases leverage. Because the moment people fully understand you, they stop being curious about you. And curiosity is the root of attraction. This is why Niccolò Machiavelli wrote that everyone sees what you appear to be, but very few experience who you truly are. You have reversed that. You show everything. You leave nothing hidden. You have no behind the curtain. So there is nothing left to discover, nothing left to earn. You become predictable, and predictable things are controlled. To become expensive, you must reverse this pattern. You must become a vault, closed, measured, intentional. When you speak, it is not to fill silence. It is to direct attention. Most people cannot tolerate silence. It makes them uncomfortable, so they rush to fill it with explanations, stories, nervous words. You don't. You let it sit, because silence is pressure, and pressure forces people to reveal themselves. Here is the shift. You stop explaining. You start declaring, I'm leaving. Why? It's time. End of sentence. No justification, no elaboration, no emotional leakage. Because justification is the language of someone seeking approval. And approval is always requested by the one with less power. The one with power does not explain. He decides. When you speak less, something strange begins to happen. People lean in. They listen more carefully. They try to read between your words. They assign weight to what you say because you say it so rarely. And even more importantly, they begin to project onto you. They assume depth, strategy, control. Not because you said it, but because you didn't. The human mind hates missing information. It fills gaps with imagination. And imagination will always elevate you higher than reality ever could. This is why the most magnetic individuals are never fully known. There is always a distance, a gap, a part of them that cannot be accessed. That gap is the price tag. So you stop oversharing. You stop broadcasting your life. You stop giving people a full map of who you are. Because the moment they have the map, they stop seeing you as a mystery. And mystery is where value lives. Number 4. Emotional stoicism. Let me say this clearly. If someone can control your emotions, they own you. Pause for a second and think about your last reaction. The last time someone disrespected you, ignored you, rejected you. What did you do? You felt it immediately. Your chest tightened. Your mind raced. You wanted to respond, to defend, to prove something, to restore your image. And in that moment you paid with your peace, your control, your power. Because emotional reaction is a transaction, and you keep giving it away for free. Low-value people are predictable, mechanical. You press a button, they respond. You insult them, they explode. You praise them, they light up. They are vending machines. Insert stimulus, receive reaction. No resistance, no control, no sovereignty. And because of that, they are easy to manipulate. This is why emotional control is not just discipline, it is power. The ancient Stoics understood this long before modern psychology tried to explain it. They called it apatheia, not apathy, but freedom. Freedom from being enslaved by external events. And even Niccolo Machiavelli warned that a ruler who cannot control his temper cannot control his kingdom, because anger is not strength. It is exposure. It reveals exactly where you are weak, exactly where you can be attacked. Every time you react impulsively, you are handing someone a map to control you. So the shift is brutal. You stop reacting, not externally, internally. Someone disrespects you, you feel it, but you don't act on it. You observe it, like a scientist watching an experiment. Interesting, that's it. No explosion, no defense, no emotional leakage. Because the moment you deny someone a reaction, you break the expected pattern. And when the pattern breaks, power shifts. They wanted something from you, a reaction, a rise, a spark, and you gave them nothing. Now they are left holding their own behavior. Uncomfortable, exposed. You didn't win by overpowering them. You won by refusing to play. This is where most people fail. They think dominance is loud, aggressive, visible. It's not. True control is quiet. It's the man in the room who doesn't react when provoked, the one who doesn't rush to speak, the one who doesn't chase validation, because he doesn't need to. He is not operating on external triggers. He is self-contained, and that is rare. But understand the cost. This is not easy. Your biology will fight you. Your instincts will scream. Your ego will demand a response. Because reacting feels good in the moment. It gives you a sense of control, but it's an illusion. Real control is restraint. Real power is choosing not to respond when every part of you wants to. So you start small. You delay your reactions. You pause before speaking. You let the emotion pass before you act. And over time, something changes. You stop being predictable. You stop being readable. You stop being controllable. People begin to feel it. They become cautious around you, measured, uncertain. Not because you are aggressive, but because they cannot access you emotionally. They cannot press your buttons. And when people cannot control your emotional state, they are forced to respect it. Treat your emotions like currency. Not everyone deserves access. Not everyone deserves a reaction. Most people deserve silence. Number 5, the absence of necessity. Power begins the moment you stop needing. Let that land. Not wanting, not preferring, not enjoying. Needing. Because the second you need something, a job, a person, approval, you lose leverage over it. And people can feel that. They don't need proof. They don't need words. Neediness leaks through your tone, your body language, your decisions. It shows up in how fast you agree, how quickly you chase, how easily you compromise. And once it's detected, the price drops immediately. This is why negotiations fail before they even begin. This is why relationships lose balance. This is why respect disappears without warning. Because you needed the outcome more than they did. Even negotiation experts like Chris Voss emphasize this. The one who is willing to walk away controls the deal. Not the louder one. Not the smarter one. The one who doesn't need it. And right now, you need too much. You need validation. You need connection. You need security. So you stay in conversations too long. You tolerate behavior you shouldn't. You accept offers beneath your value. Because losing feels worse than settling. But here is the shift. You build a life where nothing is your only option. Not one job. Not one person. Not one opportunity. Because dependence is the root of weakness, and independence is the foundation of power. This is what Niccolo Machiavelli meant when he said, "A man must rely on his own arms, not the arms of others." You diversify your strength. You develop skills that are rare. You create income streams that are not fragile. You build emotional stability that does not collapse when someone leaves. So when the moment comes, when the offer is low, when the respect is missing, when the situation no longer aligns, you don't hesitate. You walk calmly, cleanly, without drama. And that is terrifying to people, because they realize something instantly. You are not trapped. You are choosing. And people treat you differently when they know you can leave at any time. They negotiate higher. They respect boundaries. They invest more, not because you demanded it, but because you made it clear without words that you don't need them. This is the paradox. The moment you stop needing them, they start needing you. So you practice this. You detach from outcomes. You prepare alternatives. You train yourself to walk away even when it's uncomfortable. Because every time you choose yourself over a bad deal, you raise your price. And eventually, you become someone who is never forced into anything, only someone who decides. Number 6, the Machiavellian pivot. Power is not constant. It pulses. Presence, absence, presence, absence. And most people destroy their value because they never disappear. They are always there, always replying, always showing up, always available. A flat line. No tension, no anticipation, no mystery. And what is constant becomes invisible. This is where you evolve from basic scarcity into strategic absence. Because scarcity alone creates value, but absence amplifies it. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene reveals a principle most people are too insecure to apply. Use absence to increase respect and honor. But here is the part they don't tell you. Absence requires nerve, because when you step back, your mind will panic. What if they forget me? What if they replace me? What if I lose my position? Good. That fear is your addiction to validation speaking. And if you obey it, you stay cheap. Because cheap things chase attention. Expensive things withdraw from it. Understand this. When you are always present, people see your flaws, your inconsistencies, your humanity. You become ordinary. But when you disappear, you become an idea. And ideas are perfect. They don't see your bad days. They don't hear your hesitation. They don't witness your weaknesses. They fill the silence with imagination. And imagination always exaggerates value. This is why the artist who disappears for a year returns to a louder audience. This is why the man who doesn't text back immediately becomes more interesting than the one who replies in seconds. This is why distance creates desire. So you apply it. Not emotionally, strategically. You stop over-communicating. You let message sit. You take time for yourself without announcing it. You become less predictable. Not cold, unavailable by design. And here is the shift that separates amateurs from masters. You don't disappear out of anger. You disappear out of purpose. You build something, you focus, you improve. So when you return, you are not the same. You are elevated, and people feel it. They sense growth, movement, direction. While they stayed in the same place, you moved forward in silence. That contrast creates respect, but understand the risk. Some people will drift away. Let them, because if your absence erases you from their life, your presence never meant anything to begin with. You were just filling space. The ones who matter, they will notice. They will wonder. They will wait. Because when you are not constantly available, your presence becomes an event, not a habit. And habits are ignored. Events are remembered. So stop being the background noise. Become the interruption. Disappear. Then return on your terms. Number 7, zero tolerance. Most people don't lose power because they are weak. They lose it because they compromise. Slowly, quietly, repeatedly. You ask for one thing, life offers you less. And instead of walking away, you negotiate against yourself. You adjust, you rationalize, you accept, and you call it maturity. It's not. It's erosion. Every time you accept less than your standard, you are rewriting your own value downward. You are teaching the world how cheaply you can be bought. You want respect? Then understand this rule. Respect is not given to those who are agreeable. It is given to those who are immovable. Most people live by a hidden script. I'll take what I can get. That is the mindset of someone who is afraid to lose. And fear is always visible. The moment someone senses that you need the deal, the job, the relationship, the approval, they lower the offer. Because they can. But the expensive individual operates differently. He has lines. And those lines do not move. I don't tolerate disrespect. I don't work under these conditions. I don't accept half commitment. These are not preferences. They are laws. And laws are enforced. This is where most people break. Because the moment you enforce a standard, you risk losing something. The opportunity, the person, the comfort. So you hesitate. You soften, you split the difference. And in doing so, you split your own authority in half. Even figures like Steve Jobs built their reputation on this principle. Difficult, demanding, uncompromising. Not because they enjoyed conflict, but because they refused to attach their name to mediocrity. That is the difference. Low-value individuals negotiate to keep things. High-value individuals enforce standards, even if it costs them everything. And here's the paradox. The moment you become willing to lose the deal, you gain control of it, because now you are no longer negotiating from fear. You are selecting. This applies everywhere. In work, in relationships, in how you treat yourself. If someone gives you half effort, you don't negotiate for the other half. You walk. If a job undervalues you, you don't beg for recognition. You leave. If your environment pulls you down, you don't adapt to it. You outgrow it. This is what makes you difficult. And that word is used by people who benefit from your compliance. Let them say it, because behind that word is something else. Respect. But understand the deeper layer. You cannot demand excellence from the world if you tolerate mediocrity from yourself. If your habits are weak, if your discipline is inconsistent, if your standards only apply outwardly but not inwardly, you collapse under pressure. So you upgrade your body, your mind, your environment, your focus. You become aligned. Because when your internal standards are high, your external boundaries become effortless. You don't have to force them. They radiate. And people feel it immediately. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be valued. And value does not negotiate with mediocrity. Number 8. The luxury identity. There is a voice inside you. Quiet, persistent, dangerous. It tells you to be careful, to be grateful, to not ask for too much, to accept what is given and not risk losing it. That voice is the bargain hunter. It was built for survival, not for power. It whispers, take the safe option. Don't push too hard. Don't risk rejection. And because you listen to it, you shrink. You walk into rooms hoping to be accepted. You speak carefully so you don't offend. You adjust your personality to fit what is in front of you. You become adaptable, flexible, harmless, and completely forgettable. Because people do not value those who are trying to fit in. They value those who decide what fits them. This is the shift into the luxury identity. You stop asking, do they like me? You start asking, do I like them? The frame flips. And when the frame flips, power moves. You are no longer seeking approval. You are granting it. This is what most people will never understand. Being expensive is not about arrogance. It is not about believing you are better than others. It is about knowing your standards and refusing to negotiate them for comfort. Even Niccolo Machiavelli understood that perception is reality. And perception begins with how you carry yourself internally. If you believe you are an option, you will behave like one. If you believe you are the prize, everything changes. Your posture, your tone, your decisions. You become selective, not emotional, not reactive. Precise. You don't force connections. You evaluate them. If something doesn't align, you don't explain. You exit. And here is where the luxury identity becomes dangerous. You start using truth as a weapon. Not lies, not manipulation. Truth. Blunt, clean, unfiltered. I don't like this. This doesn't work for me. I expect better. Most people cannot say these words because they are afraid of the consequences. But the moment you say them, something shifts. People realize you are not playing the same game. You are not trying to keep the peace. You are defining reality. And in a world full of fake politeness and hidden intentions, the person who speaks uncomfortable truth becomes rare, valuable, trusted, because they know one thing about you. If you are willing to offend them, you are not trying to control them. You are not manipulating them with approval. You are showing them exactly where they stand. And that clarity is expensive. So you kill the bargain hunter. You stop settling. You stop adjusting yourself to fit into spaces that were never built for you. Because the moment you stop trying to belong everywhere, you start belonging exactly where you should. Number 9. The ultimate cost. This is where most people stop. Not because they don't understand the strategy, but because they cannot afford the price. Up until now, everything you've heard sounds like tactics. Adjust your availability. Control your emotions. Speak less. Raise your standards. But this is not a tactic. This is a sacrifice. Because to become truly valuable, you must be willing to be misunderstood. You must be willing to be alone. Let that sink in. The moment you stop being easy, people will notice. But not the way you expect. They won't say, you've grown. They won't say, you've become stronger. They will say, you've changed. You're different. You're cold. And some of them will leave. Not because you did something wrong, but because you are no longer convenient. You are no longer predictable. You are no longer theirs to access at will. And that breaks the dynamic they were comfortable with. So they walk away. And this is the moment that defines you. Because your instinct will scream, go back. Be easier. Be warmer. Be who they remember. Lower the price, just enough to keep them. But if you do that, you reset everything. You go back to being available, replaceable, cheap. This is why most people never escape. They are not afraid of failure. They are afraid of isolation. The herd is safe. The herd is warm. The herd is free. But the herd has no power, because power requires separation. Even Friedrich Nietzsche spoke about this divide, the difference between those who follow and those who stand alone. The ones who rise always walk a path that feels empty at first, because they are no longer surrounded by noise. They are surrounded by space. And space is uncomfortable. It is quiet. It is uncertain. It forces you to face yourself without distraction. This is the void, and most people run from it. But the few who stay build something inside it. Clarity, discipline, identity. While others are chasing validation, they are constructing value. Brick by brick, silence by silence, loss by loss. And over time, something shifts. The emptiness is no longer threatening. It becomes selective. You are no longer alone because no one is there. You are alone because not everyone qualifies. That is the difference. You stop trying to hold on to everyone. You start allowing most people to fall away. Because you understand something now. You are not here to be liked by the many. You are here to be valued by the few. And the few always recognize rarity. But rarity has a cost. And that cost is everything you used to rely on for comfort. So here is the final question. Not can you do this, but can you endure it? Now you stand at the edge, not of knowledge, but of decision. Because everything you've heard up to this point means nothing if you don't choose. You already know what happens if you go back. You open the door again. You reply instantly. You say yes when you mean no. You explain yourself to people who never earned the right to understand you. And for a moment, it will feel good, comfortable, familiar. You'll be accepted again, included again, needed again. But look closer. You won't be respected. You'll be tolerated, used, consumed. And slowly, without even noticing, you will disappear into the background of other people's lives. A tool, a convenience, a name they remember only when they need something. That is the cost of being free. Now look at the other path. You close the store. You raise the price. You become selective, controlled, measured. You say no. You delay. You withdraw. And at first, it will hurt. Silence replaces noise. Distance replaces attention. People question you. Some walk away. You feel the weight of it. The loneliness. The doubt. The voice in your head asking, was it worth it? This is the test. Because this is where most people fold. They touch power and then retreat back to comfort. But if you hold the line, something changes. Not overnight. Not dramatically. Quietly. Your time becomes yours again. Your energy stops leaking. Your attention becomes focused. And the people who remain are different. They respect your boundaries. They value your presence. They invest in you because access is no longer free. You are no longer part of the noise. You are the signal. And over time, your reputation builds. Not loudly, but undeniably. People hear about you before they meet you. He's not easy. He doesn't tolerate nonsense. But if you get in, it's worth it. That is power. Not attention. Not popularity. Control. And here is the truth most will never accept. You will never be loved by everyone. But you don't need to be. Because being loved by everyone is the fastest way to become worthless. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be valued. And value requires distance. It requires standards. It requires the willingness to walk alone when necessary. So the question is simple. Do you want to be comfortable? Or do you want to be rare? Because you cannot be both. The world is a marketplace. And right now, you are the product. So decide, will you keep giving yourself away for free? Or will you finally set a price and enforce it? Because once you are spent, you cannot be bought back. Be rare. Be controlled. Be expensive. If this opened your eyes, understand this is only what I can show publicly. There are strategies, deeper layers of psychological leverage, and darker applications of these principles that simply cannot be discussed openly, not because they don't work, but because they work too well. Platforms restrict it, algorithms suppress it, and most people are not ready to hear it. That knowledge exists elsewhere, behind the barrier. If you're still here, you already know you're not like the others. You don't just want motivation, you want control. So subscribe if you haven't. But if you want what is hidden, what is not filtered, what actually separates those who understand power from those who chase approval, step inside, click the join button, enter the architect level. That's where the real transformation begins. Most won't. That's the point. I'll see you in the dark.